turn in your Bibles, Gospel of John, chapter 18. Gospel of John, chapter 18. Bless you. Verse 37 and 38. Gospel of John, chapter 18, verse 37 and 38. John, chapter 18, verse 37 and 38. One last time. John, chapter 18, verse 37, 38. And it reads on this wise. Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. Pilate said unto him, What is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews, and said unto them, I find no fault in him at all. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to, from the point where Pilate says, what is truth, I want to talk on this subject for the next 25 minutes or so. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Seems like we're a country where we don't know what real truth is anymore. We don't like to retain God in our knowledge. The courts have taken the Bible and the Ten Commandments out of the courts system. But they've left in the court system this statement, this sworn oath, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And they would, as you turn on the TV, seem like no one knows what truth really is.
Yeah, that's right. Say it.
There's lies everywhere. Lies coming out of the White House. Lies coming out of Congress. Lies coming out of the news network stations. President Trump's calling it fake news. Lies everywhere. Does not seem like that we as a nation, that we as a country, would rather retain God in our knowledge. But John is clear here today.
Yes, he is.
That there is one truth.
Yes, that's
Right.
Jesus is that truth.
Yes,
I heard him say, I am the way.
Yes.
I am the truth. I am the life.
Yes.
So everything about Jesus is true.
Yes.
But it seems like we are a country that's after everything other than what the real truth is.
Yes.
This country was founded upon our trust in God.
Yes.
And today we're questioning, what God were you talking about?
Yes.
That's right. How about it?
Because it doesn't seem like your God is my God.
Yes.
Right.
Because definitely coming from me
Amen.
to the world, my God is different.
Yes, he is.
Right.
My God is Jesus.
Yes.
We have here in our text today simply the trial of Jesus to Christ.
Yes.
He has already been betrayed.
Yes.
He has gone now through Caiaphas. He has gone through Annas. He has gone through the Sanhedrin Council.
Yes.
And with the laws that were developed within Jerusalem for the Jews, they could not execute anyone. They were under the Roman rule.
That's right. Right.
So that in order to even indict someone on a capital punishment, they had to go through the Roman rule procurator or the governor who sits instead of the emperor.
Yes.
We know this governor to be Pilate.
Yes.
Pilate was not on good terms with the Jews.
Yes.
And what I want us to notice here today is that if there's ever a place for us to come together, or for two mutually exclusive parties to come together, is surely on the word of Jesus. What am I saying? I'm simply saying the Jews had no love for Pilate, and Pilate had no love for the Jews. They hated one another. And you can see this within the text, because when the Jews brought Jesus to Pilate, Pilate says, "What is this?"
Yes.
He says, "Well, we're bringing you a malefactor." One of the other gospels says malefactor. But in John says, "Hey, we're bringing you a criminal."
Yes.
And so the Jews says to Pilate, "We want you to sentence him to death." And if you go back and read that, they've already presented themselves as the jury and the judge, because when they came to Pilate, they came to Pilate and says, "Sentence him to death."
Yes.
Which simply means they've already made up in their mind
Right.
that he should die, that he's already guilty. So as we read the story goes on. It seems like that as we have these Jews as the witness, that we don't have truth involved. So as we look at this word truth, we understand that it does not mean falsehood. This truth that we're talking about is not a truth wherein is true or false. This truth is a truth as in reality.
Yes.
The reality is that Jesus is God.
Yes.
The reality of it is that Jesus was not born. He always was.
Yes, sir.
He always will be.
Yes, sir.
And he always is.
Yes, sir.
That's the reality.
Yes, sir.
But the Jews did not know him. Jesus came to his own,
Yes, sir.
and his own knew him not. So then the question comes to you and I today, right to your seat. Do you know who Jesus is? Do you have a reality in terms of who Jesus is? And I tell my children all the time, because they have this thing in terms of numbers about being wrong. I get it. I'm 18, but I'm grown and not age 18. I said, well, let's review this thing now. Let's take your word grown. G-R-O-W-N. Grown.
Yes.
Let's break the word down.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, first off is, if I remove the G and the R from the front, I got on. And until you have enough responsibility and have a career to get your own in your own house, your own car, your own bicycle, your own toothbrush, your own clothes, you are not grown. And drop the G and the R. You got the word on. And until you can move on and keep moving on, you are not wrong. can drop off the N, drop the W, and then drop the R. And you have the word go. So now if you grow, you're out on your own, and you moving on, here you go. No, you got too much longer for me. Go right up. We're using your word, bro. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Am I by myself? Can I get witness in here? Praise the Lord. I ain't by myself on this thing. You got the G, drop the G off. Drop the O-W-E-N off. But you got left the R. The R is for revelation. The R is for reality. The R is for reality that Jesus is God. That keep him in your life. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you are owned by anybody else, because it was the blood of Jesus Christ that purchased the church. And until you are able to understand who Jesus is, you don't have a real revelation. And the reality of it is that you need to get into your system, get into your mind. How do you get faith into you? Do you eat it? No. Do you see it? No. Do you feel on it? How do you get faith into your ears? So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So then you need to read the word of God to understand that you ain't wrong. Until you understand what real responsibility is. Real responsibility is following the mandate of the master. And the mandate of the master is written to us in Matthew chapter 19. Amen. And so that we want to do that. So as we move throughout this sermon, you go back and you read this again. And then you go into Matthew chapter 27 and read it. Then you go into this same text that we read in John. You read it in the 23rd chapter of Luke. When you get there, this conversation between Pilate and Jesus, it does not go into real depth within the Gospel of Luke. It does not go into real meaningful depth within Matthew. Because simply, and I'll give you one example. When Pilate says, hey, they say you're a king. And Jesus just says, just one word, thou sayest. Actually two, okay. Thou sayest. That's all he says. So this dialogue that they're having in Matthew, this dialogue that they're having in Luke and Mark, it's not much there. But John seems to let us know that Jesus is God. And so he wants to get more involved in this conversation, because there's more in the conversation that we need to extrapolate, because we need to know who's talking. So then what we have here is remove the name Pilate and just see man. And then see God. So this is a conversation between God and man. Between God and man. You can go one step farther. You can remove man out of the way and make it personal and say this is Chris and God. Because God is about to do some talking. And so Pilate, when he talks to him, he says several things, but this brings the conversation for all of us to a one-on-one confrontation with God. And until you have that one-on-one confrontation with God, then I would search myself. Because there's a whole lot of people who's running in the world will say, I'm saved, but I would recount that thought. When how can you say that you are saved and you're running around and you're saying that Jesus is not the only way to get to God? I would recount my thought. So with this conversation that we have, there are just 3 points that I want to really pull out before us today so that we can see within this conversation between man and God, what was Jesus trying to say to this man? Well, number one, he wanted to give him a personal revelation. A personal. Notice that it's personal. Ain't got nothing to do with mama. Ain't got nothing to do with daddy. Daddy got his, mama had to get hers. And you have to get yours. This ain't got nothing to do with no friends. This don't have nothing to do with your teacher nor your principal. This has everything to do with your personal revelation. And simply because Jesus self-disclosed himself.
Yes, he did.
He disclosed himself, not partially, but he discloses himself fully. So I like what Cardell said. I am that I am. And he is everything that he said he is. I mean, I like that statement because I am that I am is, you can take it the other way. I am that I am. Now take it the other way. Am I that? Am I? So it's a question to me. Has he been a rock for me? Has he been a friend for me? Has he been a low burden sharer with me? Has he been a rock stone hewn out of a mountain? Has he been bread for me? Has he been water for me? What has he been? But see, you can't tell me because you wasn't there. You don't know when, and you probably don't know when. But you do know. I wasn't there, but you were there. And in the midst of everything that you were going through, God was right there waiting to bring you out. Everything, wherever you were, whatever you were doing, God was right there, ready to bring you out when you got ready to be brought out. Because nobody else could tell you anything. Because at that point, you were grown. You were feeling yourself. You wanted everything that the world said that you would do. You went out to get it. And Jesus says, everything that you're going in the world to get, I already have. Until Jesus gave you a personal revelation. Then you turn from the world and turn to Jesus Christ. And here you are today. The Lord has been taking care of you ever since. Because he's that kind of God. The Bible says the Lord is my shepherd. Making me a right out and green. And not brown pastures. Brown is a symbolization of dead. Green is a symbolization of life. So then God gives me life. But in order to get it to me, he reveals it to me. He reveals it only to those who want it. If you don't want to be revealed to you, guess what? He won't reveal it to you. You have to want to be revealed. And how do I get this revelation? Read. Study. Study. You say, I've got to study, I've got to read, I've got to meditate. You say, I've got to study to show myself approved unto who? Unto God. Not my mother and father. They were proud of me when I said, I think I know Jesus in my heart. They were glad to see me come forward. But when the Bible says study to show thyself approved unto God, that's God and God all by himself. I know you love your mother. I know you love your father. But it's God who stands to receive us right on home. It's God who stands to say, I am the one that's interceding for you. I stand on the right hand of God the Father to intercede for us. You won't know that unless you have a personal revelation. But then there is the personal revelation that he gives to this man when he's face to face with him. And we see that what he tells him, he says, thou sayest that I am a king, verse 37.
Yes.
To this end was I born. For this cause came I into the world. And we all know that Jesus Christ was born to save the world.
Yes, he was.
He was born. And as he was born, that's not his beginning.
Yes, sir.
That's not his beginning.
Amen. Yes, sir.
That's what we know from the scripture.
Right.
But he has no beginning.
Right.
He has no ending.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't born just right there
Yes,
within Bethlehem.
Yes, sir.
That's where he came into our existence,
Amen.
for we to know him.
Yes, sir.
But he was born physically through his mother Mary.
Yes, sir.
But spiritually,
Why not?
he wasn't born.
Yes, sir.
He always was.
Always.
Always was. And he always is. So, personal revelation. But then there is the personal reservation. Personal reservation. You and I have a personal reservation. Where? Within the kingdom of God. Within the kingdom of God.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize the implications of that? Either you're in the kingdom or you're not in the kingdom.
Amen.
And if you're not in the kingdom, that means that woe unto you, because there's going to be gnashing, weeping and gnashing of the teeth.
Yes, sir.
So we're in the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
Well, how do I know that we're in the kingdom? Because if I'm saved, Jesus is my king. He's the king of kings.
All right now.
And so he tells this man, he says, my kingdom is not of this world.
Yes, sir.
If my kingdom was of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from thence. And so then the kingdom that we are to know is, he is the king. Who is he? Jesus is the king. He came to earth and the start of his ministry. The kingdom of God is what? Is at hand.
Yes, sir.
So then we're in the kingdom, not tomorrow. We're in the kingdom right now.
Yes, sir.
We got to live like kingdom citizens.
Yes, sir.
And not like kingdom hoops. You know, and I see some people that mar their Christianity because they're doing any and everything. They're saying any and everything. I mean, it's like, I'm confused now. People are confused. People are confused when you act any kind of way, say any kind of thing, do any kind of thing. And people will say, I thought you said you was a Christian.
Come on.
You know, and we confuse them. And one of the dangerous states that we could be in is carnality. So, because see, if I'm a spirit and I'm not saved, okay, then I'm not saved. I don't know Jesus. I don't know who he is. I don't know God. I'm doing any and everything. Well, you can expect that person is probably going to act unsaved.
That's right.
But if I'm saved, there's an expectation for me. But if I am carnal, I'm dangerous because I say I'm saved, but I act unsaved. Carnality. I act like I have the blood of Jesus on me. But on a Monday, you better watch out. You better watch out on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Because I'm a different person. I act different. I talk different. I'm with my boys. I'm with my girlfriend. I say anything. I'll do anything. I'll go anywhere. I'll be with anybody. It doesn't matter because I'm carnal. And that's what carnality is. It's the flesh. I'm letting the flesh lead me versus letting the spirit lead me. And we need the spirit to lead us more towards spirituality and not non-spirituality. But carnality says that I'm leaning more towards non-spirituality than I am towards spirit. So that we need to act like kingdom citizens. Husbands, we need to be more like kingdom husbands.
Yes, sir.
Wives, we need to be like kingdom wives.
Yes, sir.
Children, we need to be more like kingdom children. We need to act like princes. We need to act like a princess. We need to talk like Jesus talked. We need to talk the word of God. We need to act like the word of God. If you have been redeemed at all, you ought to show some signs. So some of the signs that we're showing is not the sign that God wants to see. We ought to show signs that we have been redeemed by the blood of Jesus.
Preach it.
Personal revelation. A personal reservation in the kingdom of God. But then a personal redemption. Personal redemption. And so we know that Pilate asked this question, what is truth? He asked the question, what is truth? You can look in Luke and you can look in Matthew. He immediately did not wait for the answer. He went outside. He went outside and said, now are y'all sure that this man is guilty? Because I don't find no fault. And what they wanted Pilate to understand that, listen, this man says he's a king. Now you got your emperor Caesar. Now what's going to happen? He's going to serve Caesar, or he's going to be the king himself. And so what they really wanted him to say, okay, well then that's against Roman law. See? Now that's against Roman law. And if it's against Roman law, now it's capital punishment. That's what they wanted. But remember when I first started this sermon, I said there's a whole lot of lying going on. There's a whole lot of lying. And not a lot of truth. So as we move towards this personal redemption, you can see that as he leaves out, he knows who's before him now. Yes, sir. He knows that this is not an ordinary man. Yes, sir. He knows that now this is God before him now. Yes, sir. This man, hey, listen, he hadn't done anything. He hadn't broken Roman law. He hadn't broken Jewish laws. I don't understand why he's here. So Pilate goes back out and says, hey, who will it be? Will it be your king or will it be Barabbas? And so the people, because they're so carnal and they're so filled with carnality, guess what they say? Crucify him. Crucify him. On Sunday, Hosanna. But later through the week, it's crucified. It's crucified. You see how carnality works? Any moment that button could slip on. You could slip right into carnality. You know, I used to hear people say, I'm just going to operate my home. I'm going to put my religion on the side just for a minute because I got to get this brother told. Now, don't put your religion on the side. Keep your religion. Yes, sir. That's right. We know you're not perfect, but carnality would seem to draw you farther to the side of being unsaved. Yes, sir. So this redemption that we have is Jesus Christ is now going to do what had been already mentioned. He's about to fulfill Scripture. Yes, he is. Fulfill. Had Pilate released him, there would be no fulfillment of Scripture. Because it had already been prophesied that Jesus would be crucified. Yes, sir. And his death would be crucifixion. Yes, sir. It had already been prophesied. And so, as we see Jesus gets ready to move, he was flogged, he was beaten, he was whipped all night long with a cat of 9 tails, hunks of flesh coming out of him, he bled. They took thorns, they pressed the thorns down on his head. The blood came streaming down his face. They pierced him in his hands. They pierced him in his feet. Blood came streaming down, and that blood on Calvary. Yes, sir. That blood. Yes, sir. Yeah. Washed away. Yes, sir. Our sins. Yes, sir. The blood of Jesus Christ. Some of y'all got it, but some of y'all didn't get it. Let me just tell it to you like this. And I'll just talk to these folks. Y'all act like y'all don't want to say amen. So let me talk to these folks. Well, I guess I'll talk to everybody. So there's this young lady. You all remember when the mall got attacked in Nairobi, Kenya, in 2013. The mall got attacked by a group And when they attacked the ball, there's this young lady that got away. Well, she lived to tell her story. Let me tell it to you. Because at that time, in the Pentagon, my area was African. And so we had a detailed storybook on this story. So usually, in the morning time, I get up, I'll check the news, NBC News, and look at it. And I didn't this morning. But when I got to my office, I turned on all 4 of my computers. I had the screens up, and the story comes in. This young lady named Sanehar, Mashru, M-A-S-H-R-U. Well, she was in the mall at the time he got attacked in 2013. And as she was in this mall and everybody's scrambling because when he got attacked, they came through shooting people and throwing grenades and so on and so forth. But there was a young boy who fell right near her. As the young boy fell, she reached under him because the phone started to ring. She reached under him and grabbed his cell phone. When she reached under him and grabbed the cell phone, he was bleeding. So the phone was full of blood. Her arm, her hand was full of blood. She detected that the boy's life was quickly leaving the young boy. And eventually, shortly after grabbing the phone, he did. He passed away. But she opened the phone, she turned the phone off so that it would not attract attention from the attackers to that particular area. So blood had started to run now everywhere. So blood was all over her hands. She heard voices coming. She took the blood from the boy and rubbed it all over her face. She rubbed it all over her hair so that the attackers would see that she was either dead or injured. And then she lay there, dead, and played dead. The attackers approached them and kept walking because they saw the blood there. And they saw her laying. There was no reason. They kept walking. You can get this story. Her name is Sanehar, S-N-E-H-A-M-A-S-H-R-U. This story is all out there. So Sanehar got up and eventually went to her husband, and she was glad to see him. So she lived on the account of somebody else's blood. Let's come back to the scripture now. You have your life because of the blood of Jesus Christ. Living under the blood of Jesus Christ, He has purchased the church. And because He has purchased the church with His own blood, you now have the right to the tree of life. You have the right to the tree of life because it was His blood where I was saved. And there's power in the blood of Jesus because it has cleansing power. And it cleansed my sin. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Yeah, there is a song that says there is a fountain filled with blood, drawn from Emmanuel, and lose all guilty stain. But I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that God will save your life. If you're not saved today, you need to come under the ark of safety. Because brothers and sisters, Jesus Christ, He is the one that will save your soul. And I wonder, do I have any witnesses in here that know that God is the teacher of my soul? God saved our soul. The Bible says that they hung Him and they stretched Him wide. He hung His head. Yeah, and then He died. But aren't you glad that's not the end of the story? And on the third day morning, He rose up with all power, not been for the blood of Jesus Christ, we would not have salvation. On Calvary's hill, that day, blood came streaming down. He gave up the ghost. And he rose. That's the truth. The whole truth.
Church say amen.
Glory to God.
I don't know about you, but
Oh, yeah.
I just heard the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. Amen. Amen. We thank God for the message. We thank God for the messenger. Amen. Amen. I like that. She was covered by the blood. So she survived because of somebody else's blood. One blood. All nations of men to go up on the face of out of one blood. Not black, not white, not Hispanic, not Jewish. One blood.